OMG journalist went undercover inside Antifa at the height of the New Jersey shipment port blockades and discovered that members of Antifa have infiltrated almost every industry, from AI engineering, university administration, T-Mobile, to the United Nations, lawyers' guilds, and nonprofit boards of directors. We use their secret internal group chats to identify the members, highlight their most egregious statements, and track down where they work. And the positions of power that some of them hold genuinely shocked us. These people are everywhere. Specifically, the journalist infiltrated an Antifa cell called NJ Byrne. Recently, at Delaney Hall, the illegal immigration detention center in New Jersey, Antifa made headlines by rioting and attacking journalists and law enforcement. NJ Byrne was one of the groups on the ground.
No one's gonna come protect you! Fuck you!
I was personally on the ground at Delaney Hall. I was forced to deploy mace in self-defense and had to retreat into Delaney Hall for my own safety. The violence at Delaney Hall has been brutal and unending. Also, NJ Byrne has been making headlines for shutting down major shipment ports, such as Elizabethport in New Jersey.
Have shut down the entrance to the Port of Elizabeth. Port of Elizabeth is one of the most significant ports in the world.
Thanks to the journalists' infiltration of their signal chat groups, O'Keefe Media has been able to review these chats. And within them, they discuss plans for future port blockades and violent protests, celebrations of Charlie Kirk's assassination, and wishes that Trump's assassin had succeeded. Using names and profile pictures from these chats, we were able to track down a few of the members. For example, using the account's profile picture and name, Lex, we were able to match her to a LinkedIn profile for Alexis P. She is a council member of something called the New Jersey Coalition Against Sexual Assault. Lex gleefully expresses that she is a, quote, menace to the white side of her family, laments the fact that minorities have expressed condolences for Charlie Kirk, and expresses how much she, quote, fucking hates centrists and conservatives. When a person with this much anger, hatred, and racism in their hearts is a council member at the New Jersey Coalition Against Sexual Assault, how are white women, or conservative women, or centrist women for that matter, supposed to feel comfortable or safe going to the NJCASA for help? You would think radical chats like this would mostly consist of students and activists, but what we found was much more alarming. These people are everywhere.
We cook your meals, we haul your trash, we connect your calls, we drive your ambulances.
To quote Fight Club, they program your AI, they run your cell phone service, they are execs in medical companies, they are congressional candidates, university administrators, defense attorneys, and perhaps more predictably, ACLU board members. In a chat planning the Elizabeth, New Jersey port blockade, we found Jim Keaty, who served as city councilman in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and also ran for the 4th Congressional District of New Jersey, although he was not successful. Just imagine if our government was infiltrated with Antifa sympathizers.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it,
not
kid.
militia.
Just imagine. Wu Jin Ko was subscribed to the Jackie Support Antifa group chat, which is dedicated to providing support for Jackie McRae, who firebombed 10 NYPD vehicles in 2026. They/she had their Instagram profile linked, which had a matching profile picture to the LinkedIn account. And they're an engineer at OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT. So you can only imagine the radical agendas that they/she is programming into ChatGPT responses. Yet another participant with strong authority over the programming of AI technologies is Belkacem Melfak, who works as an AI automation leader and expert for T-Mobile. Out of all of the people we found in these chats, 3 of them work in high-up positions in leading AI companies. These are the people that will be programming and engineering AI technologies long into the future as they become a more and more prevalent aspect of social programming. Turning our attention to Rutgers University, Zainab Tanvir is an imaging director and assistant professor at Rutgers, New Brunswick. So if your children go to Rutgers, just know that the administration that oversees them is also sympathetic, if not complicit, to the Antifa agenda. One such example, in the same Elizabeth Port Blockade chat, we found Amanda Dominguez, who is a PhD student at Rutgers and an organizer and coordinator at a workers' rights activist organization called New Labor. On New Labor's mission page, it states that they fight to empower workers and clean up dangerous safety conditions. We are not exactly sure how creating human blockades against truckers trying to do their jobs is empowering them or improving safety conditions, but this apparently meets New Labor's standards of employment. Also, in the chat planning the Elizabeth Port Blockade, we found a D.T. Rao, who is a doctoral candidate in Princeton's Department of Classics. We can't help but wonder what's going on at Princeton if their doctoral candidates and members of the Department of Classics are engaging in chats celebrating assassinations and plotting to shut down major American shipment ports. Also, in Princeton, New Jersey, at Princeton Theological Seminary, a Presbyterian private school, we found Reverend Shannon Smythe, who serves as the school's director of field education. We couldn't help but wonder if families that are spending over $20,000 a year to send their children to Princeton Theological Seminary were aware that members of the faculty were supportive of Antifa's agenda and disruptive tactics. Cress Volushi was found to have access to NJ Burns' Google Drive, where they upload photos, videos, and even a media kit in preparation for the port blockade on October 3rd. Perhaps quite predictably, Cress Volushi is a board member of the ACLU and a board member and co-founder of the National Lawyers Guild. The ACLU is notorious for defending Antifa rioters in court, so it doesn't come as a major surprise that their board members would be actively participating in their disruptions. For example, in 2017, the ACLU of Oregon notoriously filed a class action lawsuit against the city of Portland on behalf of members of the Rose City Antifa, citing excessive force by police. There's also Celine Simon. Her profile picture featured a poster stating "Everything is political," which was also referenced in her LinkedIn. She is the co-founder of Study Hall Foundation, which is apparently hosted by the United Nations every year for an annual summit. It's probably not even surprising to many of you that the United Nations would give annual summits to companies founded by Antifa members, especially considering the UN infamously tweeted about their, quote, profound concern over a recent statement by the US Attorney General describing Antifa and other anti-fascist activists as domestic terrorists, saying it undermines the rights to freedom of expression and of peaceful assembly.
Speaking a language that they understand, and sometimes that is violence.
Peaceful assembly. Unsurprisingly, we found Thomas Whitehead, who is a PhD doctorate student at Cornell, until he was arrested for assaulting a police officer with a flagpole. When so many aspects of American society are infiltrated by these radical agitators, everyday life can become compromised by their violent agenda. This isn't just an isolated issue. Antifa participants are systematically invading our justice system, our AI technology industries, our university administration, and their students' minds. There is so much work to be done on this issue, and we're calling on the US government to track down these detractors. If Americans are to feel safe and secure, trusting their Justice Department, sending their children to universities, or even using AI technologies, it's clear that something has to be done to cut back the amount of influence that these radicals are seizing. If you work in any government department or influential corporation, and you notice that radical violent Antifa-associated individuals are being given positions of power, please reach out to us to be a part of this investigation. You can securely email us at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com or text us on Signal at 914-491-9395. Stay tuned.
When I'm out in the field exposing corruption, meeting with confidential sources, I think a lot about privacy, security, and staying connected when it matters most. In fact, I was just in the field in Los Angeles. I had to go inside someone's home, and no one could hear what I was talking about. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing or where I was. I put my phone into one of these bags. Remember, your phone is constantly broadcasting signals about where you are and what you're doing. GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, RFID, and all of it depends upon cell towers that can go down at any moment. That's why more people, including journalists in my line of work, are turning to the privacy and preparedness gear at sat123.com, which is where I got this bag. My team carries this bag. I carry this signal blocking pouch anywhere I go. I put my phone inside of it, I zip it up, It blocks cell signals, GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and RFID. And when my phone goes inside, it's completely cut off from the outside world. No tracking, no remote access, no unwanted signals. SAT-123 also makes Faraday backpacks, backpacks with built-in pockets and level 3A ballistic protections. Your electronics stay secure. The backpack itself adds another layer of protection if you ever need it. And when it comes to communication, nothing beats a satellite phone. Satellite phones connect directly to satellites, not cell towers, which means they work almost anywhere, even when networks go down during storms, outages, or emergencies. I actually had my Starlink go down when I was out on the water, and I used my satellite phone. It's good to have both. If you want to protect your devices, your privacy, and your ability to stay connected, check this out. Go to darkbags.com, maybe easier to remember, darkbags.com for Faraday protection gear, and SAT123, that's SAT123.com for satellite phones. I have 2 of them, and I use this bag. And the team at SAT123 is helping us out by providing a nice discount for all of you watching this live show. You can use promo code OMG for 10% off your order. Stay prepared, stay connected, stay protected. Darkbags.com, SAT123.com for satellite phones and these bags. This video is brought to you by Citizen Journalism Foundation.